Hello friends, it's Shan here. Welcome back to Golf with Shan. As you read in the title of today's video, I am going to be spilling the tea and sharing with you guys exactly how I gained 15 yards off the tee in golf. This is a real video. I did actually gain 15 yards, and this is not a quick fix video. This video is a comprehensive look at everything I've done, from getting stronger physically, getting more technical, changing a few things in my swing, and getting new equipment. So the combination of all of those is how I was able to gain 15 yards off the tee without losing consistency. And that is what I want to share with you guys today. A few disclaimers. First disclaimer, again, it's not a quick fix video. Second disclaimer is what I made changes to in terms of my body or my golf swing is specific to me. So you may not have to change what I did change. However, I would say a lot of my mistakes, quote unquote, are quite common across amateur golfers. So this video might be really helpful to you. Also, there are lots of universal tips that are just good for golfers in general. The following tips that I will share in this video is a combination of lessons I've learned from previous golf lessons I had when I used to compete, watching professionals on YouTube, on TV, and just learning from their golf swing, as well as learning from myself. So I have been, working on my golf swing as all golfers do. We try to find different things that work for us personally, but hopefully everything I share in this video will be beneficial to you. So without further ado, let's get started with the first topic, which is to get stronger. Now, this should not come as a surprise to you, but the first section in today's video is to get stronger. As with most sports that require distance or speed or power, your physical health, your physical strength is a non-negotiable. And so there are three specific things I've been working on for my golf swing. First thing is grip strength. So there are two things to do with grip strength. First thing is, if you have a stress ball or a tennis ball, squeezing it just like this in your free time, you will be gaining some of your hand strength. I have tiny hands. I'm just a small person with child hands. And so grip strength is super important to me. You don't want to have a death grip on the golf club, but if you have stronger hands, you don't need to grip the club as hard to still have control of the club face as it comes through impact. The second thing is twisting a towel. This is something that I actually saw on a video with Rory McIlroy, and this is to get you the feeling of twisting, and this is the feel he wants on your grip as well. Next up, we're going to talk about workouts. I have been using the Nike Training Pro app. This is not sponsored. The Nike Training Pro app is completely free. They have programs on there that are 4 to 6 weeks long, and they have videos that are pre-recorded with their Nike trainers, and they are 30 minutes to 45-minute workouts that are really easy to follow. And I've been doing mostly body weights and free weights, so dumbbells and kettlebells. One specific thing I've been working on is my core strength and lower body. Now, from the outside looking in, a lot of sports like golf, baseball, even rowing look like it's upper body heavy, but a lot of the power actually comes from your lower body. For golf specifically, most of my power, because I don't have the strongest upper body strength, most of my power comes from my hip rotation and my legs. Of course, I can still hit the ball further, which is what I'm working on. Squats, lunges, working on my ab workouts, and then as I have free weights, I will also be working on my upper body regardless. The last thing in the get stronger category is working on flexibility and balance. I think flexibility is something everyone should work on because it does reduce your likelihood of injuries. In my golf swing, it may look like, as I follow through on the golf club, it may look like I am twisting all the way around, but for me, that is still within my body's capabilities in terms of flexibility. If your flexibility is limited due to age, injury, genetics, for whatever reason, definitely talk to a medical professional. I cannot give medical advice on this channel, period, and I will not. Talk to someone who is trained. Talk to a golf coach who has experience with people who have injuries. For example, if you have a knee injury or a hip injury, talk to someone who knows what they're doing and can give you advice on how you can change your golf swing to not injure yourself, but still maximize accuracy and distance. If you don't have any injuries, I would highly recommend working on your flexibility. The other thing is balance. Balance is something I've been working on since the beginning of my golf journey. I used to hit the golf ball and then I would lose my balance forward a lot, or to the side. And so that's an indication to me that somewhere along the line, my balance isn't centered. Just by working out, you are working on your balance. So those are the 3 things in the Get Stronger section that I have been working on for my golf swing, and it's really helped. Moving on to the second section, and possibly if you're watching this, the most important section for golf specifically is to get technical. The following are changes I made to my golf swing. Again, you may not have to make any of these changes, or you might find some of these relatable. The first thing I was working on is my grip. So as I said earlier, twisting the towel, the feel of getting a stronger grip, and literally getting a stronger grip. I used to hold my grip, I'm right-handed, so my right hand used to be further back and I would hold the club a lot weaker, and now I've turned the hand over a little bit so that my right hand is now more on top of the club, and it's actually just come back to center. For me, that was a huge change, but getting a stronger grip has really helped me with more consistency and distance in the golf swing. The grip is often something that a lot of people get wrong, but they kind of ignore it and work on the swing. But grip is probably the first thing you should check to see if you're doing it correctly. When you first change your grip, it's gonna feel so weird. The smallest change to your golf swing is going to feel so massive at the beginning, and that is why it takes time to make changes. All right, now let's talk about my golf swing. Make sure to check out my golf swing basics video if you are new to golf and you want a easy introduction to the golf swing. Otherwise, let's talk about what I've changed in my golf swing. Let's start with the backswing. One thing I noticed when I was in China at the range, one of the coaches there actually came up to me to talk to me and gave me a few tips while I was hitting. And so one thing he noticed was on the backswing, I used to only turn my shoulders and I didn't load my hip. So I didn't move my right hip back as much. I was basically just turning upper body. As a result of that, my head would come up a bit to create more space for my shoulders to turn instead of staying still on the same plane. That's one thing I've been working on, is on my backswing, turning my right hip back on the same axes, but actually loading up with my hip as well as my upper body. And in that way, it also allows my head to stay still instead of going up and then coming back down on my downswing. So that's one thing that has really helped with my backswing. The second thing with my backswing is I've shortened my backswing. Now, a lot of professionals do take the backswing way past parallel and it works great for them. I used to do that. I've done it actually since like 2 years ago when I stopped. And the reason I stopped is because one of my favorite LPGA golfers is Danielle Kang. Now you guys know. I realized that for her backswing, she shortened it and it gained a lot of control without losing distance. So I was like, maybe I should try that. I used to think if I can take it further back that I would have more power and I would have more distance, but that's actually not true. Now I take the club back to parallel, and when I first made this change, I felt like I was taking a half swing, okay? But that's not the case. So now I take it back to parallel and I actually have more control and I have not lost distance. And so if you are new to golf, try to work on controlling your backswing and really work on accelerating on your downswing, which is the next thing we're gonna talk about. This is something that my golf coach in high school helped me to work on. And for driver, he said, imagine if someone had a giant like beanbag right in front of your golf ball and you were trying to hit into that beanbag with your golf club. And he actually had a beanbag in the simulator, and so I was able to do this. And you feel like you're trying to smash the golf club into that bag. And that's the kind of acceleration you want to feel when you're hitting the golf ball. The other thing with working with this beanbag is you naturally, if you imagine there's something in front of you, you're not going to tilt your head forward. So what I used to do is on the downswing, I would shift my body weight forward. And I still do this a little bit. So that's something I've been working on. But I really had to try to keep my head back. And this is something you'll notice with pros as well. Especially with driver, their head will always be behind the ball at impact. And that's one way to hit up on the ball. One final thing in the Get Technical section is also a statistics thing, is for me to get a positive attack angle on my driver. This is a common mistake across amateurs. It's not a super big deal if you're close to zero or even a negative slightly a little bit on your attack angle. It's okay. A lot of pros actually play with that. but it's best to have a slightly positive attack angle because it means you are hitting up on the ball, and it also means your ball will have less backspin, and so it can roll forward further. A few of the things I mentioned earlier with loading up my swing, keeping my head back, keeping my balance, making sure I'm not shifting forward, all of these will help me with my positive attack angle and maximizing distance. And finally, we have arrived at the last section of this video, which is to get equipment. I intentionally put this section at the end of the video because a lot of people think that getting new equipment is all they need to improve their golf game. It's not. It is an easy fix, I will say that. 100% getting custom fitted golf clubs will improve your golf game. From my personal experience, since I got my PXG golf clubs, you guys can check out my fitting session. I highlighted literally everything in my fitting session, and my brand new golf clubs that I got. Well, they're not new anymore, but they're custom. They're the first set of custom fitted golf clubs I have ever owned in my life, and it has made a huge difference. However, I don't like to tell people to go out and buy new golf clubs as the first thing because there are so many other factors to your golf game, specifically your physical health and your golf swing. So the only reason I put this at the end is I want you guys to know that you should really talk to professional coaches, learn from professionals on the internet since we have free resources nowadays. Really work on building up your strength and your swing before just going out and throwing your money at new clubs. And also, getting new clubs may not help your game. Getting custom fitted clubs will help your golf game. Another thing I want to mention in the get equipment section is actually clothing related, specifically golf shoes. I have been wearing flat golf shoes for a while now, and I do recommend this to everyone. Let me explain. I used to have a pair of Echo shoes. I love the Echo golf shoes because they are flat. They're designed like athleisure shoes, but nowadays they've become so common. Adidas, Nike, they've all done it. I have tried golfing in sneakers, and running shoes and training shoes are designed to provide you extra support on certain parts of your feet, which means you're not actually standing flat-footed on the ground. And this is something that weightlifters will also tell you, is that you should probably get flat shoes so that your balance is equal. And flat shoes will make sure that you don't tip over forward or backwards at certain points. You don't stand more on the ball of your feet or anything, you're more centered. I would say the same thing with golf. I've actually noticed that when I'm wearing running shoes and there's more cushion on certain parts of my feet, my swing is a little different and I feel more off balance. Before I end this video, I do have two things to say. First thing is we have so many free resources on the internet. I will link a few of my favorite videos of professionals and their training sessions for you guys so you can check those out. I've mentioned a few of them in this video. Go ahead and check out the actual video because it will be really helpful to you. The second thing is to definitely work on your consistency before trying to maximize distance. I have played golf with people who can hit the ball over 300 yards, but 300 yards out, it could be 3 fairways over. Everything I've said in this video are things that I have been working on and will continue to work on to better my golf game and hopefully to gain a little more distance while maintaining consistency in the upcoming golf season. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to check out these videos that I have suggested if you haven't seen them yet. They are all about golf technique and things for beginners to look out for. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.